Hi there, my name is Crystal Meldrum, the color dancer, and I'm excited to have you watch me paint today, and hopefully you'll soon join me. What I'm going to be drawing is, I'm passionate about motherhood, and so I'm painting a picture, a little thumbnail of a lady, and her tummy is going to have the earth on it, and her hair's blowing in the wind. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in my opaque projector, and I'm going to sketch it on the canvas. I'm going to sketch it top to bottom, like vertically, and then I'm going to turn it upside down and draw it again, just in case. And then I'm going to do some kind of crazy colors, and then I'll choose whichever way we like the best. So if we like it, vertical, or if we like it upside down, whichever way looks better for the hair blowing in the wind. And then, because it's going to be kind of abstract. And then I went on the internet and I found some pretty pictures that we can kind of get a little bit of some ideas from to paint. Some fun just pictures. And we're just going to look at them a little bit just to get some ideas. And then here's some earth pictures that we're going to look at to be able to put on the dress. And so I hope it turns out amazing. Usually I do a little color study and a little black and white study, but we're just going to be a little wild and crazy and go for it. Hi there. Okay, so I changed my mind. I just drew the lady on with an opaque projector. It's called a prism artograph. And I'm going to turn off the lights and see if you can see this. I'm going to draw the earth, her little tummy, and see if you can see it with the lights out, so you can see how this works. So here we go. I'm going to turn off the light, turn on the opaque projector, and actually I need to cut out my little earth. So let me cut this out. I'm going to cut out my earth. I don't know if I'm in the dark right now. I hope you can see something. I promise the whole video will not be like this. So we're going to make her belly come somewhere right here. Okay, I want to see if make it a little smaller. I'm going to move it up. I'm going to focus the belly. Okay. Okay, so I've got these acrylic markers, these Molotow acrylic markers. I absolutely love these. And Montana markers. They're both acrylic markers and they're amazing. I'm going to sharpen this a little bit more sharp. Let's see if I can. There, that's more in focus. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to trace this on with this acrylic marker, which we can cover however we want. Okay. So I have a really neat story about the opaque projector. So the opaque projector, I have a little saying, make your dreams known. That's one of my class rules. And so one time I went to this really neat art opening, the Springville CAS school, and it seemed kind of fancy, and I was just really wanting to know which opaque projector I should buy. And I was there by myself, but there were all these artists, professional artists all around. And so I just mentioned to this gentleman I was standing by, I just said, I just wish I could pick the brain of all these people and ask them, which opaque projector they would buy. And he said, oh, well, I have one, and it's like a $300 machine, but I'd be willing to sell it to you for like $100. And I was like, oh my goodness, that would be awesome. And so he ran home and grabbed it, and so here now I have an opaque projector. And so I just think, make your dreams known. Like, you never know who's going to bless your life and make your dream come true for you, I'm just that's happened to me so many times in my life. And so, you know, I just, sometimes, you know, we don't dream big enough, or we don't think, you know, those blessings are out there that could come to us. And so we just have to, you know, write it down, think, well, and not worry about how things are going to come to us. Just, you know, I actually figured out I wanted an opaque projector because I tried out for a scholarship, a Woman of the Arts scholarship, and I didn't get the scholarship. But by applying for the scholarship, it helped me figure out, if I had this much money, this is what I would buy. So, okay, and here's a little Cuba down here, and I just gotta, I think that's about all I'm gonna do. So let's see if we can see now. Turn the lights on, turn the opaque projector off, turn these lights on. Maybe now you can see. Probably. Okay, and so my sweet husband built me this easel, so I'm gonna actually bring the easel up because I like to paint right at my eye level more. And so this easel is just built with 2 2x4s, well actually 1x4s, and then just some easy little bolts and things. And we'll make a video on how to build this and put it on. So, but it's really nice because you can paint huge. I have an easel that you can get for like $80 that's really nice. But when you do gigantic paintings, you can't fit it. So, okay, so now we have the drawing done, and we're going to get some paint going. Okay, and let's see. I'm gonna get some, what I like to do is get some images, some colors that I can look at to give me ideas. Sometimes I'll look at like an old Rembrandt engraving and just look at the shapes of light and dark and just apply that to my painting. And then, I mean, if it's Rembrandt or Albert Dürer or somebody like that, I mean, you know the values are going to be awesome. And so if you just apply it to your painting, then it will look gorgeous. So, let's see if we can get a Rembrandt, or you know what, maybe we'll do Rubens. Rubens. He's pretty amazing. Rubens artwork. Okay. Okay, so let's see these images. So I think this one with Jesus coming off the cross is pretty strong. This is pretty awesome. So I think I'll use this as my inspiration of light and darks. And so we're just gonna go for it. Go crazy. So this is a Molotow acrylic paint marker, and it's a giant one. I think it's 15 millimeter. Yes, it is. So we're just gonna start going crazy, having a blast. This is my favorite part of painting. It's just getting all the wild colors going, and it's just so fun. Acrylic is so awesome because you can put oil over acrylic, and it's just great. Oh, aren't those colors beautiful? This color, I can't remember. I wanted to choose a yellow that was, I think it's called vanilla. I don't see where they put the names on these, but that's what I remember. Do you like my outfit? This is my painting smock, painting muumuu. I got it at Dillard's. It's actually supposed to be pajamas, but it does a great job keeping the paint off. So, okay. Ooh, her face. It's looking scary. Oh well. Okay, so we're gonna keep it going, keep it going. Okay. I'm glad this is a little bit wet, so it's kind of fun. Okay, so I need to pump this so it has more paint coming out of it. Okay, here we go. Okay. So you want to have a beautiful strong diagonal, just like they have in the Jesus painting. Okay. Because diagonals are just so powerful, like a triangle. In a painting where you have a triangle, it's just such a powerful composition. So we're looking at this and there's kind of a swirl going up like that. And there's this guy has a red outfit on and he's standing here like this. Okay. And there's a guy over here that's helping. Okay. And so now I'm going to get, this is my Tom Lynch palette, and I'm going to put some heavy body acrylics in this. I haven't actually done it yet. I don't know if you have the patience. Maybe I'll be right back after I fill it up. Okay, so I've got my palette here, and this is a Tom Lynch palette. It's around $20. This is heavy body acrylics, and there's a few tricks to know with acrylics. First of all, you need to paint, like I put down a t-shirt that's wet and a piece of parchment paper. Because a lot of times when you paint with acrylics and you actually like put it on a plate, you know, in 1 to 2 hours it's dry, and then you're like, the color I mixed is gone. It dried up. But if you just paint on this wet parchment paper, on this wet t-shirt, this will stay wet for a super long time. And then you put the lid on your paints, and I've watched YouTube videos and they say it stays wet. So I'm testing it out. I'm gonna leave my wet t-shirt in here, hoping the moisture keeps the paint wet so that I can paint for days. So I'll have to tell you if it works, because I'm just trying it today, but I'm excited about it. I bet it will work. And so then what you do is you get a whole bunch of white, and then you're gonna mix up all these colors. And let me grab, I have this, well, I'll just show it to you. I don't wanna keep leaving the camera. So this right here, so I'm just mixing with a palette knife. If you mix with a brush, it will fill your brush up, and then you'll just waste a lot of paint when you change colors. So get a palette knife, kind of a small one, and then just mix up your colors. You're going from dark to light. So each time you add more and more white, and you think, oh, I'll just mix as I go, but it's just such a pain in the neck when you're like, I just need a little lighter yellow, and you have it already ready for you. It will just make it so much more fun to paint. So here's a little bit more. Okay. And so here's yellow again. And I'm not sure how this is going to work because taking up quite a bit of space, because I need space right here, 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 here. But it'll all work out, I'm sure. Okay, here's green. Thing that painting teaches you is to be confident, to make decisions. And those are some things I've struggled with, especially making decisions. And, but it can be done, okay? So here we go. And yeah, did you know that making decisions is actually a talent? Some people are good at that. And like my husband's good at it, my mom, my sister, my daughter. And so sometimes I just pick their brain to try to figure out what to do. Okay, and so phthalo green is awesome. It looks like, oh, this isn't going to be that amazing because it's so dark. That's the glory of it. It's so dark. It can make so many colors when you add white to it. So it's just, phthalo green is amazing. It's, for some reason, phthalo is one of those colors that, like when you use watercolor that's phthalo green or oil paint, it just somehow gets everywhere. Like, look at my white. It's been staying kind of clean, and now boom, phthalo green, it's everywhere. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to clean out my, well, I guess I won't clean it off yet, because I'm going to go do some of this phthalo blue. This phthalo blue. Oh, wow. Is that beautiful? Beautiful. You know, my family, I was the oldest of 11 kids, and so everybody kind of specialized. And after I started cooking by color, making macaroni and cheese with mustard, because it didn't have enough kick and needed more color, they kicked me out of the kitchen, and so I became the cleaning sister. So, but I can paint now is just so fun. And I think because, I don't know, because of chemists or because of the digital tools are so amazing, I think all the art supplies out there are just incredible. I mean, I have had an absolute blast trying all these amazing high quality art supplies. This right here is Liquitex paint, heavy body Liquitex paint, and Grumbacher Academy. They're both really high quality, awesome paint. And I'm sure there's tons of other ones, like Dick Blick probably makes one. Utrecht are awesome. You know, here's my, whoa, this purple was old. I got this at a garage sale. But okay, I can get this. Woo-wee. Okay. And mix some fresh white with it and it will be better. Okay. Oh, you're probably losing patience. I know, this is taking forever. I will get going. Hopefully you're eating your lunch or something, so it's not too boring. Okay, so here's some pink. I mean, this pink, oh, I've got a lot of purple in there. Oopsie. Okay, and you know, you don't always have to use paper towels. One way to save money is old t-shirts. So that's one thing I use, and I put it in my feta container, and it's just amazing. Okay, so I've got to get this cadmium orange. Is like, it's the color that when I started art school, I just thought, ooh, that's a little bright. And it's just like the go-to color. It makes the best skin colors. You add a little tiny bit of a neon yellow, like I don't know, a phthalo green yellow light. It's just that yellow green, that really vibrant yellow green. And a lot of white, and you can just make a beautiful skin color. So cad red, some yellow green, and sometimes a little touch of ultramarine blue, and it'll make a beautiful skin color. So, okay, and right here, add a little bit more white, and then we need some of this pink. This is, I think, Quinacendron Magenta. Who knows how to say that? I'm not sure, but okay. This palette's so nice. It's just so big. Okay, got all of our colors. Whew. Okay. Oh, and then one other thing I do is, isn't that pretty? Oh, I love that. I'm gonna put some fresh white in here and put this off to the corner. But this right here is Golden Open Acrylic Medium, and it's, you could, maybe it's a slow drying medium, so it actually will make your this kind of act like oil paint, and it will take a little bit longer to dry, and it makes it so you don't have crazing when you're painting. Crazing is when your oil paint, your acrylic paint cracks, and so if you want to dilute your acrylic paint, you can put some of this in it, or maybe GAC 800 or something like that. And just for when you're wanting to thin it out, but you can only thin it out with water up to 30%. But if you thin it with this, you can just go to town. So, okay, so gotta get this right over here. So this is where I'm feeling a little fearful, a little nervous, and I'm wondering if I'm gonna be able to paint, you know. Let me grab one of my favorite brushes. I need a big brush. This is one I just bought that I need to try, called an Egbert. So I'm gonna get it wet, dry it off, a little paper towel. And I'm just gonna paint a little bit with intuition, and then also looking at my Rubens painting, Descent from the Cross. So I'm just going by the feel. Hi, Ash. My daughter came home from school, so this is exciting. Hi, Ashley.
I'm going to work now.
Okay, have a great time.
Okay, we'll do. Bye.
She's going to work. Okay, so I think the hands are gonna need some pink. I'm gonna just color this in. I want this to look like an abstract painting, so I want it to feel like yellow, pink, turquoise. Those are the colors that are just really kind of exciting me. So I'm gonna kind of cover this. So I'm wondering where I'm gonna put my turquoise. Some beautiful turquoise. Thinking about here. Oh, turquoise is so fun. This is just such a weird brush. I think you're meant to use it like this. And there, that's amazing. I think it's meant to just be used for your swishes, you know? So I might want to get a different brush out and use it for, I'll do my swishes later. Let's see. This is a fun brush. Oh, it feels so good. It's really smooth. I got this in Chicago at Arts and Craftsman store. So I got it wet. Okay, gotta go more by intuition. Okay, I'm gonna put a big shape here. And I gotta get some darks going. Get some darker colors. It's so interesting, you know, you wouldn't think it, but like there's some fear involved with painting and some excitement. I mean, and right now is probably my favorite part of a painting because you just have this blank canvas, and usually I have a color study, so I'm not as scared, but I'm trying to, you know, I'm trying to just go a little bit more abstract. The trick with abstract painting is, like, a lot of times when I do an abstract, I paint all these little dots everywhere, little dots, and that is not good. You have to have big, medium, and small, or huge, medium, and small. So, you know, you've got to have your big shapes, your big negative shapes. You know, I didn't appreciate abstract art when I was a child. I just thought, why would somebody just splatter paint all over? But now I have a great appreciation. I mean, I have tried to do abstract paintings, and I mean, it's way harder than it looks. way harder. But so I'm doing a big shape there. I love yellow ochre. Yellow ochre is just like this wonderful golden earth yellow, and it's just beautiful. Look at that. And I mean, I like to color when I do these, you know, acrylic paintings almost right out of the tube. But ochre is one of those colors that can make the most beautiful grayed down colors that look natural, look like we see in nature. And it's just lovely. Isn't that great? Oh, okay. I got to get a little golden open because I'm just not getting this to cover. I don't want to add a ton of water. So, okay, so I'm looking at this Descent from the Cross picture again and noticing they've got some interesting negative shapes. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I got too much stuff on this table. Okay, here we go. Okay, so see right here, Jesus's arm and his body is creating a beautiful negative shape right there and right there. And so I'm trying to kind of create some beautiful negative shapes similar to this, because this is just a beautiful composition, and my painting is a little bit similar to this. It's got this feeling of movement coming down this direction, and so I'm just gonna try to create some beautiful negative shapes. So, okay, so so I'm gonna put something right here. Okay. And you know, I had to decide if I wanted to go through the fine art program. I went to BYU, Idaho, and then I went to Brigham Young University, Provo, to finish my degree. And I had to decide if I wanted to go through the fine art program or through the illustration program. And to me, I chose the illustration program because they were so good at teaching you the figure, teaching you how to use Photoshop, showing you how to use all these important tools. And I thought, you know, I can always, you know, learn how to do fine art later, but I couldn't learn the figure without taking all those amazing figure drawing classes from the illustration teachers. So I feel really happy about my decision. And I can't remember where I was going on that, why I'm telling you that story. Oh well. Anyway, who knows? So I'm loving using a big brush. Use a big brush to start your paintings. You know, you're tempted to noodle and get small. No, get big, get a big brush, and just start having fun. Here's kind of, there's a picture, there's a gentleman that's helping Jesus's robe be taken off the cross. And so this color is kind of inspired from that. And let's see, there's a face right here, so we'll put that right there. Okay, and there's another face, really light face, so we'll make it really light. Okay, and where I learned this tip of using a Rembrandt painting is from, okay, I'll tell you the long story version. I love Julia Cameron's book, The Artist's Way. It's a great book, and she teaches 2 tools in that book And one is art field trips and the other is morning pages. And art field trips is where I learned this. So once a week, her advice is to go on a field trip with yourself, and not with a friend or anything, just by yourself, and go to an art store, go to an art museum, go to a bookstore, go somewhere where you're going to be inspired. You could go to a movie alone. So I went, and I mean, you can still go with a buddy. It still counts, but sometimes without a buddy, you're a little bit more free to think and to get new ideas. So I went alone, and I went to the Springville Art Museum's $100 show. And this is a fun show where all, like about 20 or 25 artists come, and they have 20 pieces of art, small art, and each one's $100. So you're getting original art for only $100 each. And so at that show, I was talking to a girl who does abstract paintings, and she was telling me that one of the things she does is she'll look at an engraving of Albrecht Dürer or Rembrandt, and that's where, you know, she gave me that tip, and because I was struggling with my abstract paintings, they were just looking so boring and so same. And so after that tip, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm going to try that. And it's been awesome. I'm loving it. So there's a lot of darks. I've got to figure out what I want to do with my darks. I think I want to go green and pink with my darks. So go on art field trips. You know, I loved it. When I learned about art field trips, this was just liberating, because always in the past I had to beg people to go to an art museum, and they were saying, I don't want to go and it'll be boring. And then finally, when I learned about art field trips, I realized I can take myself. I don't have to have permission. I don't have to have a buddy. I just can take myself to a art museum, and it's just amazing. And then I have all these questions, and then I start thinking about my questions, and I'll talk to a friend about my questions, and I just learn a ton, you know? It's just awesome. So on The Artist's Way, her other great tip by Julia Cameron is morning pages. And morning pages is where you write 3 pages every morning about just kind of what's on your mind, what you're thinking about artistically, or just what's going on in your life, anything, just to get it off your chest. And I usually write about what I'm thinking about artistically. And so it takes me about a half hour to write morning pages. So you might think, oh, I'm not going to do it then. You know, I'm not going to write for a half hour. Well, I'll just tell you a sad story. So I didn't write morning pages, and I didn't paint for 15 years. And because I graduated from art school, and then I wanted to raise my children, and I raised them, and I just was afraid that if I really embraced my art that I'd lose my kids. And I don't regret, you know, I trained my kids. I loved and taught them. I read to them and everything, but I really could have carried a sketch bag with me. So that's one other tip. Always carry a sketch bag, because then you can always sketch if you're at the doctor's office, you know, and you can get your hours in. So anyway, so if you think, I don't have time to write morning pages, well, do you have time to wait for 15 years till you start painting or start developing your talent, whatever it is? I mean, you've only got 80 to 100 years on this planet. I mean, you gotta write sometime, figure out what you want to do. And so I challenge you to write morning pages, even if you just do it when I do it actually now, just when I hit a roadblock. And like I did last Saturday, because I had an art show, and then I was starting to feel like, oh no, I have to paint something incredible, something that will sell. What am I going to do? And so I wrote a page, and I was like, I think I'm going to clean my room for a few hours. And it's like, no, It's Saturday, you have not got your 20 hours in, you are going to paint. And so as I was writing, I was like, you can do it. You can do it, Krystal. You can paint. Don't let fear get in your way. And so I did. I painted the rest of the day. And I know it sounds crazy. It's like, why does she have to write to get her brain on? Well, sometimes you have to do that. I mean, sometimes people can cycle for years and not get their brain on. So take a half hour, write your morning pages. If you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling indecisive, fearful, roadblocks, write your morning pages. It's amazing. Amazing. I love it. I'm so thankful for that tool because it's so wonderful because no longer does fear have to stand in my way, or I have to go and find an art professor or an art friend to talk to. It's like, no, I can just write morning pages and I'll figure it out. It's very amazing. The power to write is the power to reason. Some people reason without writing. I'm not one of those. I mean, I do reason, but I reason a lot better, when I'm writing. So, especially about my art, because, you get interrupted all the time. And so it just seems like all you do is doing the bare minimum duties, keeping the ball rolling and keeping people dressed and fed, And so morning pages is just a wonderful time to figure out, what do I want to do besides, cook and clean? Okay. So when I have white spots, I just use a little golden open and spread it. Okay. And I didn't know I wanted to put blue in this painting. I mean, but I don't know. I don't know if it will stay, but I'm loving this down here. This Quintessendrone magenta and phthalo green is gorgeous. Okay, so I need to kind of take a step back and look at the painting and see what needs to happen. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I took a step back and I am loving this, and I'm not liking the blue, so the blue's going to leave. So I'm going to get a paper towel. Put this paper towel right here. Too much stuff, man. Whew. Okay, I'll get some water. And I'm going to take out this blue. Uh-oh. I'm losing it. I gotta put some sandpaper on my easel because my friend Howard Lyon, that's what he does, and his easel holds his pictures really well. Okay. So I'm gonna clean that blue off. Maybe I'll put in some brown. And just take some of the pink. Okay. So I have a link on my website under books and tools for Julia Cameron's book, The Artist's Way. And I wish you could listen to it on Audible. They don't have the exact book on Audible. They have some other books she's done. But anyway, if you can listen to it or read it, it's awesome. I love all the quotes in it, and it's just a great book to help you keep moving on your art journey. Okay. Oh, isn't that yellow ochre so pretty? Mixing yellow ochre. Oh man, it's just so pretty. Wow. Wow. A lot of times I like to do these little strokes that are just swift and diagonal. They just look energetic and they're just fun, you know? So, okay. Oh, isn't that pretty? Wow. Oh, I'm just like, art supplies nowadays, they're just so amazing. I mean, back in the Impressionist day, I mean, they probably had to mix their own, and we can just go to the store and buy these. It's amazing, you know? And like, I've been trying these paints called Atelier Free Flow or Fluid Acrylics, and they're amazing. They act kind of like watercolors, but they're acrylic, and they are really fun. I just love them too. And I have another favorite called Watercolor Brushes Crystals. They're super fun. It's this explosive watercolor powder. It is gorgeous. It's so fun. Okay, so I'm really glad I'm getting some nice big shapes. Okay, so now what I need to do, I'm liking these colors. I need to just add a little bit more here. Here. That just is not popping down there. I don't know what it needs. Maybe that. Okay. And maybe a little bit up here too. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to start looking at my scrap, my photography. Let's see, how do I get off this? Okay. I emailed my pictures to myself. This is not it. Okay. Okay. So, okay. Let me get one of my favorite brushes, which is a Robert Simmons Filbert. And where is it? Here it is. So it's a Robert Simmons Titanium Filbert, number 6. This is the workhorse. This is the paint brush that we use a ton. So I'm gonna get this wet. Okay, and then gonna get some brown and some cad red. And really what I'm trying to do right now is just kind of put a nice sepia colored glaze. And so sorry I'm not really talking while I'm painting because it's kind of hard to paint and talk. And but I mean, let me think of what I can teach you right now. So always carry a sketchbook. That's one thing I was talking about. So here's one of my tips. So if you've read Malcolm Gladwell's book, The Outliers, he teaches you that if you, there's a common denominator, between people who become amazing, experts, masters, and it's that they all have a common denominator of 1,000 hours of practice. And even Mozart, and people think, no, he didn't do it 10,000 hours, but actually he just started younger. He started when he was 3. So if you do 20 hours a week, that will be about 1,040 hours in 1 year. So in 10 years, if you do 20 hours a week, you will become a master, which is amazing. So that sounds kind of discouraging, I'm sure, because like for me, I'm probably not going to become a master piano player. But if you have a talent that you want to learn, maybe if you want to learn art, you can. But you need to start carrying a sketchbook with you, and you need to start sketching, and you need to start, getting in your hours. So the way it works for me, I'm a mom of 6 children and 1 husband. And so the way it works for me is Sunday through Wednesday, I kind of put my family first, and put everything I need to do, like the laundry, my church responsibilities, my kids, like we do a weekly meeting where we plan the week on Sunday for an hour called Family Council Meeting. And then on Monday night, we have what we call Family Home Evening. And that's where we just teach them a lesson on values or go do something fun as a family. And so, and then I'm also just working like crazy, getting laundry done, getting all the food done for the week and all that kind of stuff. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'm getting my 20 hours in. I am painting up a storm. The house is done. The food, we're going to start eating a little simpler, burritos, whatever it takes. And I'm going to get my 20 hours in. And no one's going to die. And it's great. It's been working. So, and my kids are they've been kind of happy for me to be able to pursue my talent and things. Hey all you art lovers, if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to my YouTube channel and give me a thumbs up. Share this with your friends, family, and in the description below you can find my website, Instagram, my favorite supplies and products. Thanks for spending time with me, Crystal Meldrum, the Color Dancer.